All right, I've centered the discussion on the financial return on investment side of an impressionable high school student making a decision, and I laid out the options. Now I'd like to discuss the happiness side. According to a Gallup poll, only one-third of full-time employees are engaged at work. They're happy with what they do, being part of a team, and contributing every day. Unfortunately, it's the other side. 16% are actively disengaged. They are miserable in their workplace. 51% of employees are not engaged. They are just there. According to Kelly Service, in an annual global survey, the number of unhappy workers is always around the mid 40%. Why are employees not engaged? There are obviously many reasons. There are personal reasons, but I think many people do not put in the proper self and social discovery when they choose what to do after high school, a program and or degree. Only about 1 in 5 young people in the 12 to 22 year range express a clear vision of where they want to go, what they want to accomplish in life, and why, according to psychologist William Damon in Academically Adrift. I think part of the solution is to get young people, 12 to 18 years old, thinking about their career, exploring them through simulation and perhaps sampling of careers. They should be concentrating on experiential learning where they actually practice the skills they would apply at a job. Track their learning in skills and competencies where they can change their trajectory as they adapt to evolving interests and demonstrated skills. And start preparing to make that critical, mature decision when they graduate. To accomplish these 3 tasks, I suggest skills-based approach, a methodology centered on the development of a skill set through education, higher education, and career. This involves constantly cycling through 4 stages with an evolving skill set. Within skills-based approach, much of the education and career planning happens in the planning and building stages. I've come up with 4 strategies for planning a career. Well, I borrowed one. Craftsman mindset from Cal Newport, follow a passion, self-awareness, and product to market. Though I argue you can use any strategy. If there's a new technology or application out there, plug it in. Take the strategy, use the results, and translate the results into a set of skills and an action plan to learn each of the skills. Let me introduce the 4 strategies. First, there's a craftsman mindset. Find what you do best and build a career around it. Invest in your career capital. Identify your core competencies, skills that differentiate you from others, that you have an innate understanding of and commitment to develop. Larry Bird summarizes it nicely. He says a winner is someone who recognizes his God-given talents, works his tail off to develop them into skills, and uses these skills to accomplish his goals. The advantage of the craftsman mindset is you put your best foot forward. The disadvantage is you might not always have something that differentiates you from your competition. Follow your passion. Find something that gives you self-efficacy, someone that drives you, something that you get excited about when you wake up in the morning. Your passion may fuel your motivation to make you successful in a career. Though you have to assess your skills each step of the way. You might not always have the skills to make a career out of your passion. If not, you need to get out while you can and move on to something else and maybe use your passion as a hobby instead. Sometimes the passion works, sometimes it does not work. The third approach is the self-awareness approach. Build a career after becoming self and socially aware. Take personality tests, Myers-Briggs, or some newer variant of it. Take an interest test with how and occupational themes and values tests. Take intelligence tests, IQ and EQ. NAC has a game to help you identify talents. Once you have a complete understanding of yourself, try to think of a suitable career. And if you're not ready, then at least translate the results into skills to work on. Figure out your career after you acquired the skills. Finally, there's what I call the product to market method. You think of yourself as a product and prospective employers as the market for your services. This is the most practical approach. In fact, if you're searching for a job, you might have to do this. You work on a value proposition to market what skills you have to find a job that you can land. Well, I shared with you my 4 strategies for career planning, though you could use any strategy. If there's a new technology or application out there, go ahead and use it. With skills-based approach, the planning stage, you take the results of any of these strategies and translate them into a list of skills, desired competencies, and an action plan to learn each of the skills over a period of time. The building stage is about constantly assessing your progress in learning the skills. If you're successful, you might get that career you planned for. But if you change your mind or are unsuccessful in learning some of the skills, then you can pivot and move into another career track. And that's the power of skills-based approach. It's flexibility. All that progress you made with learning skills and self and social discovery sticks with you even as you change or move into something else. Thinking in skills allows us to, and competencies allows for this to happen. To summarize, first I talked about how skills-based approach is an effective platform for education and career planning. It effectively combines the planning with all the learning that's taking place and is an evolving process. Then I talked about how skills-based approach is an effective platform for not only the standard higher education degree, but also all these new age programs. Skills-based approach is an effective platform to compare and map out the time and cost that these programs take. Finally, I talked about how many workers today are unhappy, and perhaps the root of that is not proper self and social discovery in their impressionable years when they make the key decision of what to do after high school and later choosing a degree. I invite you to join the community online at skillsbasedapproach.com. I've started skillsculture.com as well, and follow me on Twitter with the Skills Approach handle. Thank you.